Hello everyone, my name is Laura Klesse, and this is my digital communication strategy. Waterford Advisors is a financial planning firm. 15 years ago, Gregory L. Kazurski started Waterford Advisors. He is the owner and president of Waterford Advisors. He believes Waterford Advisors is a type of firm that works closely with a limited number of families to deliver personalized financial services. Waterford Advisors does not have a social media presence, therefore creating one would help them give this firm an edge in the financial planning marketplace. When there's fluctuation in the economy, clientele will think differently about financial planning and make changes accordingly. Factors that will be affected will be family structure, health, career, and age. Family structure because one must think of the whole family, including spouse and our children when investing. Health is a factor because if someone is diagnosed with a chronic illness, then future financial planning will be affected. Career choice is another factor because obtaining a certain level of education can be fiscally challenging. Also, different careers have different benefits, risks, factors, possibilities of advancement that will affect income, which in turn will indeed affect financial planning. Finally, age because as people grow, their interests and desires may change, which will thus influence financial thinking. Digital communications, goal and objective. We want to inform the target audience and we want to increase social media presence. So if we increase our social media presence, then we can inform the target market and thus people may realize that they need financial planning and they would like to buy in the services. But it's mainly just keeping people, the public, aware of what's happening in the different economic changes and fluctuations and what to do when these risks are increased. Target audience. We have the prospective clients and then we have the current clientele. Prospective clients are going to be male and female, age 50 and up, still in the wealth accumulation stage. They're conservative, business and family oriented, financially conservative, and they look at fluctuations in the economy to make smart financial choices. Current digital and social assets. They have a business website, but it's not responsive, so you have to use your fingers to zoom in and out, and that's not really going to help a lot with like click-through rates. No one's going to want to try to keep zooming in on everything. It's just people get frustrated and not continue to look, and then we lose business that way. There's no social media presence. They have the LinkedIn profiles for employees, but that's it. No Twitter, no Instagram, nothing. There's nothing out there for the public to look at. And the website's not even that great. It's outdated and it's not responsive. The competitive SWOT. You have the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. Some competitors are Schroeder, Braxton, Voigt, Landmark Wealth Management, GCW Capital, and Charles Schwab. Most of these competition financial planning firms, they integrate social media on the website, but they promote the same information on all social media platforms and other digital platforms. So they're not really creating new content. An opportunity would be having new financial planning software so people could remotely change the allocation of assets for their clients. And doing this would allow people not having to have face-to-face conversations all the time. They could just do it remotely. A threat would be there's social media restrictions and that client testimonials are not allowed to be used for advertising purposes. The creative brief is that our interest and expertise is obviously financial planning, investing, and asset management. And some keyword phrases are financial planning, investment, assets, portfolio, estate planning, retirement planning, CPA. To whom are we talking? We're talking to pre-retirees, recent early retirees, survivors, and family stewards. As I explained earlier, these are most likely our current clientele because these are very designated and descriptive, but it doesn't mean that there are not people out there that fit these. They do fit these. They just don't know about us yet, which is the whole point of the social media communications plan. So pre-retirees are generally in their 50s and 60s, and they're still in the wealth accumulation stage. We have the recent early retirees, often overwhelmed with financial decisions they face. These clients are asking, how much income will I need during retirement? How much will health insurance B, do I need life insurance or long-term health care? People, they may not know these questions. This is why financial planning is great to know. And if we, as Waterford Advisors, are able to promote this through social media, not mainly just our services, just what we do as a financial planning firm and what we advocate, then people will be able to understand what they will need and what they can need, and then these questions can be answered. What would we like them to think? Waterford Advisors brings comfort to clients in the simplicity of how financial planning is explained. Waterford Advisors allows for clients not to worry by providing personalized services for a unique, diversified portfolio so one can achieve stable financial wealth. The single most persuasive idea we convey is Waterford Advisor believes that wealth is not measured in dollars, but in the absence of financial worry. Love of family and desire for self-determination and dignity is what matters most to its clients and to itself as a firm. Why should they believe it? They have a 99.9% current or client retention rate. As I stated earlier, they're not allowed to use the guideline mandatories. They are not allowed to use testimonials from current clients, and they can't use that in advertising means. As we move on to admiration sites, we have Charles Schwab, Landmark Wealth Management, and GCW Capital. I mentioned this earlier during the competitive SWOT analysis. Basically, these admiration sites you see listed here all have very nice layout. It's responsive. That you don't have to use your fingers to zoom in and zoom out. It's very appealing to the eye. And so even as I was doing my own research, I found myself wanting to be on these websites, and I'm hoping to mirror some aspects of these websites into the new website that we would implement. As you can see, this is the site map. So we have the home, and then we have the sub-tabs, which is About Us, Services, Clients, Investment Advisory, Getting Started, and Resources. Under those, we have About Us, we have a mission statement, our team, the services are the services listed with a brief description for each one. We have the clients, which describe our pre-retirees, pre-early retirees, survivors, stewards, things I mentioned earlier. Investment advisory, we have the investment philosophy, which explains how Waterford Advisors conducts their business. Then we have Getting Started, the confidential information gathering document. This allows Waterford to understand the needs that the client wants and the best suited services for this client. The fee structure is based on asset management. So the amount of assets that a client will have, that's the pay that Waterford receives, and no additional compensation. Contact us. I also have this under Getting Started, but it's also at the bottom of every single page. I want people to be able to contact Waterford Advisors very quickly. We have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. These are the social media sites I'm hoping to implement when we get our presence. And then we have resources. We have our newsletter archive. We have our computer templates, very straightforward. This is mirrored off of Landmark Wealth Management more than everything, and GCW Capital as well. Then we have our tablet template, and it's about the same, except we have the articles next to each other, so it's not it's not super cluttered, but it's organized quite well. Then we have the phone template, and each button will take you to a different tab. And this is so you don't have to use your fingers to zoom in and out. These are the responsive templates. Then we have a search engine optimization. We have Google AdWords keywords. We have our the search volume trends. They get up to about 26.5K average monthly searches. Our mobile trends. We have, they're just under 7.5, but they fluctuate between month to month. Then we have breakdown by device. Computers are the highest, then we have mobile, and then tablets. Breakdown by location, New York City. Of course, that's going to be a big location. But then we have some Buffalo area and Rochester. Those are the other two biggest besides the big yellow chunk in this breakdown that would be the other cities. Then we have our 20 relevant keywords, and we have financial advisor, financial planning, financial management. It's pretty much financial plus another word. Or you have assets management, risk, things about that nature. Content ideas. This is the body of this plan. We have our downloadable ebooks, our video series, our infographics, which would be posted on Instagram mostly, our online newsroom, and blog. When it comes to our downloadable ebooks, we want this so people can reference something that they can continue to read. Doing this will allow people to have their own log of guidelines that they can follow. Topics would be investment philosophy, trends in a current marketplace, and what to do with these trends. The future of one's wealth, and then we even have things such as promotional things, such as featured speakers at a gala, the history of this speaker, sponsors at an event. And with all these content ideas, all these topics that I just listed will be mirrored between most of these. So our video series, we're going to have investment reset, philosophy recap. And this could be, I'm hoping it to be the employees of Waterford Advisors, because other competitors like Landmark Wealth Management or Charles Schwab, they use content that is produced by other people. And I think if Waterford Advisors had themselves being the ones advocating this or that, then it would make us a more personalized brand. We are speaking directly to our consumer, and it would give us an edge because we are creating original content based on their own expertise and thought process. And same thing, the video series would be mirroring, so there'd be Keep Calm in a Bear Market would be a big one. And then final recap of a week philosophy videos. I think this one would be good because it just gives quick overview of everything. The infographics, like I said, would mostly be on Instagram. So we'd be creating things such as graphs, or just visually appealing information, maybe from the downloadable e-booklet. Just take a little snippet of the investment philosophy and put it in a visually appealing graph. Or current marketplace trends. So put a little arrows that go up and it shows a dip or fluctuations. It's just going to show it in a very nice looking way. The online newsroom, I thought this was a good idea because then we can have, Waterford can have press releases of topics such as the winter gala, or if they go play golf for a charity. It just lets people know what this financial planning firm is up to and what ideas they advocate or what they're interested in. And it just gives a little bit more of a personalized touch on a type of business that can sometimes seem very uptight and business-oriented. But online newsroom can also be promotional as well with the speaker bios, or it can even give, if something really big happens in the market, they can do a press release on what to do with it. Within the online newsroom, I thought a blog would be a good idea, so it could be informative. It can have quote on investment philosophy. If you're worried about trends, here's what to do. So it would be a blog. It would be giving you information, but it could be entertaining as well, because then you can have things such as, like I said, a golf outing, or you can have the gala, and it would just be nice to have some personalized content out there. Asset management, we'd hire a social media coordinator, and then if the social media coordinator isn't working, then you have the marketing intern, and then if the marketing intern can't take over, then I would take over. So it's just a big cycle of a hierarchy. And you have your monitoring tools, you have your brand watch, your Hootsuite, and your Google Analytics. Our quantitative goals: increase number of retweets, reshares by 10%, increase number of likes, favorites by 20%, increase number of click-through rates on websites, schedule a meeting, or sign up for a newsletter. These buttons would really engage people on the new responsive website. It would show that we're willing to talk to people as soon as they can contact us. And it's not, here, find us in this way, this way, this way. It's just a quick button and it'll work. Increase number of comments on social media platforms and the comments on the blog. In order to do the comments on social media, this is the whole point of the project. We have to increase our social media presence. We have the budget here. You can see that we're going to need some equipment to do the video series, or such as software like Adobe Creative Cloud Suite to create the infographics or video. We have the Brand Watch, the Hootsuite, the WordPress website for business. We have all this to implement all of the content ideas that we had. And then, as I explained earlier, we had the social media coordinator, marketing intern, and graphic designer to create all of these. because Waterford Advisors, I'm one person, I can't do it all. Then we have the timeline, and the blue parts on this show the month in which the project type, which is located on the left, is being implemented. So, for example, we have hire social media coordinator, social media intern, hire graphic designer. This is all being implemented in February. Now, if you go to the bottom of the project type where it says purchase equipment for projects, that is being implemented in January. So we're buying the equipment and then hiring the people to use the equipment to implement ideas such as concept video series. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. Concept video series starts in April. Then right underneath it, it says implement video series, and that will be in May, August, October, and December. Be implementing different content through every month. It will just, you have the concept and then you implement it, and it just goes on a cycle. And the video series will be offshoot of like infographics, so there'll be it'll be like one's going and then an off month of that and then something else is going. So it's just there's something constantly always being put out, but not all at the same time. And then obviously share content on social media happens all the time because that's what we want. Waterford Advisors has great ideas and content. We just need ways of getting it out there and having the consumer understand that we want them to understand what's going on out there, and we are willing to take the social media presence seriously and keep you informed about trends in the marketplace, when risk increases, or what to do with all these different fluctuation in the marketplace. So with the implementation of a social media presence, then we may be able to have more customers because people will realize what's going on in the marketplace and be like, hey, I need to do something about this. So the main part is we want to inform people. We want them to understand that we're a personalized financial planning firm and we're there for you. So thank you so much for listening, and that's it.